Alright guys, so we are back today with a Final Fantasy VII Remake discussion video, and it's about whether or not our data or our saves will transfer between parts or games or episodes, whatever you want to call it. I don't think episode's the right word, because that insinuates it's like a Telltale game or something, which it's not. This is actually a very good and important question that Square Enix needs to answer for us or clear up at some point in time, regardless of when the second part's actually coming out. Because think about it, if our data doesn't carry over, that means when we play the second game, it's going to start wherever the story left off from the first game, but we're going to start back at level 1. All the enemies around us are going to be level 1. And potentially none of our weapons or materia would carry over either, so all that time we'd spend leveling up materia, assuming we can level materia like we did in the original game, would all be for nothing. It'd be a waste. And if we can also earn limit breaks like we did in the original game, where we're using them so many times and killing so many enemies gives us new limit breaks, that would all have to restart again on the second game. And as another example, there's the dating subplot from the original game. Based on dialogue and things that you say to other characters and do with other characters, you get affection points, and once the dating scene happens, whoever has the most affection points is the one you go on a date with. And assuming the first game doesn't go up to where the dating scene happens, then any kind of affection or anything that you did with other characters in the first game wouldn't transfer if our data doesn't transfer. But let's say data and saves do transfer over to the next game, but how long is the wait between Game 1 and Game 2, and what's to stop us from growing to level 99 on this one save file? Second game comes out, we're already max level, we're just running through the second game. One way that they could please everybody is if they gave us the option to carry over data if we want to, or the option to start a new game completely. But the only way that this could truly work without ruining your experience would be if the enemies in the game scale with us. That way, if you come over from Game 1 to Game 2 and you're level 40 or 50 or 30 or something, you're not slaughtering all the enemies. That way, they're actually kind of a challenge when you're fighting random enemies. It all kind of comes down to what Square Enix actually means by each installment of FF7 Remake being full games, because if it's literally like Final Fantasy 13, which is a comparison they've used before in the past, those are all standalone games, right? They're in the same stories, connected universe, continuations of the same story, but they are literally standalone games, similar to Final Fantasy X and X-2. But even if those comparisons stand true, Final Fantasy VII Remake is just a retelling of the story of Final Fantasy VII, which was a single game, a standalone game. One game that had multiple discs, but still a single game. So I don't exactly know. Are we meant to go from level 1 to essentially level 99 with Game 1, from level 1 to 99 with Game 2, and maybe even Game 3? I don't know. Square Enix has to clear that up for us. But if our data and our saves do not transfer over, it's going to kind of kill the flow of FF7 Remake for me personally, because it's going to feel like we're not playing the same character. As exciting as it might be, as familiar as it might be, because we've all played these shit out of Final Fantasy VII, you're going to start over at level 1 once you get to part 2 and potentially part 3 if there is a third part. And it's not going to feel like we're playing the same character. We're playing the same story, because last time I played this Cloud, I was level, 35, and I had a bunch of maxed materia, all kinds of crazy-ass weapons and limit breaks. I'm not going to have that when I start part 2. So I don't really know what the correct answer is, other than Square Enix giving us the option to transfer saves over, and then hopefully enemies scaling with our levels. Other than that, I don't really know what the correct answer is. I don't even know what I really want out of that, to be honest. I don't know if I want my save data to transfer over, or if I want to start a new game completely. It depends on what the experience is in part 1. If it's a full game, if it really is a full game like they're saying, a full gaming experience, I feel satisfied once the first game comes to an end, and I feel like I want to start over with a new game on the second part. I don't know how they're going to do that exactly, but I don't know what the correct answer is, man. So I'll pass it off to you guys in the comment section. This is a discussion I've been having with people ever since the teaser trailer dropped, and probably as far back as 2015. This has probably been a discussion for a while, because we know the game's going to be multi-part, multi-game, episodic, whatever you want to say. It's a discussion that's been on the table for a bit, but I've been seeing a lot since we got that new trailer at State of Play, so I'll pass it off to you guys. What do you think's going to happen? Can we transfer save data? Can we transfer character stuff over to the second part? Do we start fresh with the second part? And which do you want out of that? Which would you prefer? Hopefully at E3 we can get some sort of clarification on something like this, or maybe going forward into 2019 they'll tell us some more, or maybe even leading up to the release of the game we can find this stuff out. I don't know. Hopefully they tell us something. Here at the end I'm going to throw some comments really quick at the end that kind of inspired me to make this video from my own YouTube channel, my own comment section. Shout out to these few people, because they're the reason that I'm making the video. There's probably more as well if I went through all my recent FF7 Remake videos, but we put out a lot and that would take a lot of time. I'm going to start doing this a little more, showing off comments from recent videos near the end of my video, kind of shouting out the people that are supporting the channel, that are watching my content. I appreciate you guys. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay up to date with more Final Fantasy VII Remake content. Turn on my notifications, follow me on Twitter at TheDashingDavid, and my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.